we have just under 15% of this game to go now, and what we have next is the Eurostar series, and I'm going to do this in alphabetical order in terms of manufacturers, because, well, I want to, and also because, well, since I have already used the Triumph, I think what I'm going to be using here is, I'm going to use one BMW, one Ducati, and one MV Agusta. So these are the eligible bikes. So we've got a choice between two BMWs, one Aprilia, one Ducati, two from MV Agusta, and two Triumphs. So let's get on, as we've got 3 laps Apricot Hill, 3 laps Midfield Raceway, and 3 laps of Trial Mountain. We will begin at Apricot Hill, because we can. Also because I like doing each of these races in ascending order. Alright, so we got 2 MV Agustas and 1 Ducati. Okay, let's get to it. As I choose to ride the BMW K1200S, which tells me this will be pretty easy from what I can see. Fortunately, however, we only have to do 3 laps around each of these tracks, which means this is not going to take as long as the previous event series did, where we had to do 5 laps around each of the respective tracks. In which case, at Grand Valley, well, as you might have guessed, I still very much dominated that field. And 1.8 seconds is the gap to the leader. And just waiting for the right time to clear the Ducati, which is up ahead of me. The Ducati 999R, I should say. And losing a little bit of time there to the leaders, but I don't think it's really anything serious, as I do get a pull from the slipstream in front of me. I have very much been caught in the power of the draft, and I am pushing the Ducati ahead of me, which goes to show, holy shit, I just pulled off a double pass. I have no idea how I did it, but I definitely pulled off a double pass. That was totally unexpected. But either way, we got it done. So there we go. And I almost fell off the bike there, but able to keep it under my control as we now head through the chicane. And yep, I was just waiting for that. Oh well, it's fine. I know the leaders are not going to get too far. And the Ducati has still not managed to clear the MV Augusta. I'm going to assume there must be something to do with the AI that basically does not really allow them to overtake. Where the player can basically overtake the AI, but yet the AI cannot seem to overtake one another for whatever reason. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's a thing anyway. And I have now fallen over twice in this race. And make that 3 times. And I bumped the back of the bike ahead of me. Oh well. Oh well. It's a close finish on this occasion because, well, I kept tripping over myself. But it doesn't matter because I still win anyway. And I could not quite pop the wheelie. Anyway. I still think that would have been a relatively close first race, even if I didn't make all the mistakes. Because I probably would have won this by at least 6 seconds, maybe. If it weren't for all the fuck-ups I had. But either way, doesn't matter. In spite of it being a very messy first race in the end, I still came out on top regardless. Because my bike was just that much better. And everything else, yada yada yada. Anyway. 1 race down, 2 races to go. As the margin of victory in the end of race 1 was 1.2 seconds. So, what bike are we going to get? We get the Suzuki GSX 1300R Hayabusa racing variant. And as ever, putting on my distinctive racing number because oftentimes I have to. For winning race 1 of the Eurostar Series. Now we have just 2 races to go. And what I'm going to use next will be the Ducati. Because I figure I have to at least use every one of the challenge mode manufacturers at least once in this game. And I have nearly done that. So now we switch over to the Ducati 999R for race 2. I'm also pretty sure I did get a thumbnail shot of this thing as well when we did the challenge mode. I'm pretty sure this was the bike anyway. Anyways, time now for Midfield Raceway, where once again we are doing 3 laps. I wonder what my competition is going to be this time. We'll wait and see. So we've got an Aprilia RSV 1000R, a BMW Motorrad K1200S, ironically the bike I just used, the Triumph Daytona 650, and of course there is me at the back. So, I'm strongly convinced in saying this is going to be pretty easy for me to pull off. And immediately the rear tyre had to lock up. I have no idea why it keeps happening, but it just keeps happening anyway. but I am convinced in saying I do have the pace to catch up to the leaders. Nonetheless. Yeah, this bike is definitely faster than some people may think it is. Because I am already up into second position. And closing in on the Aprilia that's ahead of me. Ironic to say that in 2024, the only two manufacturers to actually win a race in the MotoGP, I don't know why that keeps happening. I have to be doing something wrong for the rear tyre to just keep giving me that much opposite brake lock, and why it just seems to keep locking up on me for whatever reason. I feel like there is a reason behind this, but I don't know what exactly the cause of it is. It could just be because I'm using too much brake bias. That could be what's causing me to fall off all the time. And basically just causing that much oversteer in the rear. I don't know what it is, but it definitely feels like something along those lines seems to be putting me in awkward positions that, unless I'm actually turning the bike and braking at the same time, I can almost do nothing about. But anyway. Got a 4.7 second margin of victory. I almost got caught out by the track again, but this time I do manage to stay up on my high horse and blitzing across the line at 183, and there we go. Another easy win for me by 6.2 seconds over the Aprilia. The BMW finished in third, and I don't think the Triumph is going to make it. No, he isn't. Okay, that was a pretty fun race altogether. Even though I still dominated in the end, but nonetheless, still a pretty fun race. But either way, there we go. 6.2 seconds to the Aprilia, and virtually 10 seconds to the BMW. Unfortunately, the Triumph Daytona did not make it to the line before the fade. However, we still have... Oh hey, we've now won the Triumph Daytona 650. I really love that distinctive vinyl on the front. It's just so symbolic of what the racing variant of this bike represents. I really love that Union Jack vinyl they put on the front. It just makes so much sense to me, personally. It's a very striking look, is the point I'm trying to get across. Anyway, all that's left now is Trial Mountain, and so that means we will switch cars for... Sorry. I am trying to say bikes. We will switch bikes for the last time in this event. And you know what? I'm going to use the F4 because I feel like that's the only MV Augusta I have not officially ridden yet. And I figure if I'm going to ride it any other way, I might as well ride it as the racing bike form. So, let's go to our third and final race of the Eurostar series. With 3 laps of Trial Mountain. And then we can move on to our next championship, the 2-Stroke Legend Series. So for this one, we've got the BMW Motorrad K1200R this time, along with a Triumph Speed Triple and an MV Augusta Brutale 910. Okay, let's head out and let's see if we can willfully dominate this race. I almost went too deep there on the curb, but luckily I did manage to pull up. Also, something else I noticed about this bike is there is a lot of RPM, as I am revving up to 12,000 RPM. Which, to put it simply, is, well, a lot. And now clearing the Triumph Speed Triple, I hit a top speed of 162, heading into the hairpin, running a little bit wide there on the exit, but able to keep myself in position. And it looks like we're going to be doing okay here. And a little bit deep there through the kink, and I fall off anyway. I think that was partly attributed to the BMW. I did manage to stay out of his way, but he kind of still got into me on the exit anyway, and that was what caused me to fall off. I'd say it's 50-50 over who was responsible for that. I know there are moments where I feel like I've clearly been ratted out, but there have also been moments where I do feel like I have tried to pull off maneuvers that I know were probably not needed, but I still figured I at least wanted to have a go anyway. And just like that, I immediately do the old switcheroo the following lap. And on the back stretch, no less. Or in other words, on the tunnel stretch. But anyway, 3 seconds is now the gap, and it looks like I will have basically no competition from here. I will just continually pull away with my advantage, as I now set a new best lap time of a 1:32.7, and the gap is now just under 5 seconds as we head on to the third and final lap of this race. So 5.5 seconds is now the gap. And up to this point, I would say things are going really well. Or they were until that happened. Well, I'm not surprised. I kind of knew I was going to get caught out by the rumble strips. But that's okay, because I am still within arm's reach of the rest of the field. Oh, can I pop a wheelie? Yeah, there we go. I popped a wheelie right at the end. I figured I could do that with at least one of these bikes. But there we go. 6 seconds to the BMW and 14.3 seconds to... I think it was the Triumph that finished in third. Yeah, it was. Okay. And... yeah, we already have a replay saved, because I saved at Apricot Hill. Anyway, there we go. So that's now the Eurostar series, done and dusted. And now, so for winning this, we get the Kawasaki GPZ 900R. Ooh, I actually like this thing. This thing actually looks really cool. I really like that distinctive vinyl there. I only wish I could use this thing. Anyway, there we go. Kawasaki GPZ 900R is the bike we win from Race 3 of the Eurostar series. And unfortunately, we cannot use it in the Nostalgic Festival either. Oh well. Anyway, there we go. The Eurostar series is now done. And we have now moved up to 86.9%. And I think we were on 85.3% before, if I'm not mistaken. So that means we've now gained 1.6% of progress. So let's now look at our new bikes, as we have now used 42 bikes up to this point in the game. So first and foremost, I need to find... oh, it's right here. So for winning race 1, we get the GSX 1300R Hayabusa racing bike. Very nice. For winning race 2, we get the Triumph Daytona 650 with its very distinctive Union Jack vinyl on the nose. I might also consider using this thing as well. It's just something for consideration if you're asking. But anyway, so that's what we get for winning race 2, and for winning race 3. Huh. Well, that's convenient. On the first page, we get this, the Kawasaki GPZ 900R. I really like this paint job. This paint job definitely has a striking resemblance in my opinion. But anyway, there we go. So that was the Eurostar series. And next time we will be doing the Two-Stroke Legend series. Coming in the next episode.